Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Call for the acceptance of the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Public forum for this evening. No one? Okay, we'll move on to presentations for this evening. We have a really good one planned here. Great to see everybody in the audience. And call up to the podium Ron Chason, Fall Athletic Recognition.
Testing. Got it. Good evening, board and everyone, and to all of our athletes out there and parents, thanks for coming. This is a presentation on fall sports. And high school sports, I think, it's always teaching me something. It's intriguing. Everybody loves to see wins. I just came from a 1-point loss in a great basketball game. The fall proved to be a very interesting season, but I have to say that I continue to learn from our student athletes so many things, and seeing it while I coached for probably 25 years, a couple of sports. I was never an AD, and I'm seeing it with a different hat on, and I keep learning. And some of the things I've learned this fall: perseverance from our athletes. You know, they get here 2 weeks before anyone else returns to school. They start in the middle of August. It's hot. They have away games that can be up to a 2-hour bus ride. They still get all their work done. And in fact, I find the student athletes are often the best students. They manage their time. But more importantly, they learn about so many things. And I've seen it so clearly this past fall and this winter season as well. They learn about teamwork, they learn about self-sacrifice, about giving up personal goals for the good of their team. And I got to tell you, and you'll hear some of the, about some of the seasons. This was not our best fall season in terms of wins and losses. But it was a really successful season, just the same. And I'm so proud of everyone that's here, and even those that couldn't make it, of course. So let me get on with the slideshow here, and hopefully I got this. Maybe I don't, Miss Wiles. Maybe in the driver's seat. Okay. So we had 202 students. You see, I've got a little slideshow for you to illustrate what I'm saying. They played on, we had 9 varsity teams. And as you can see, the 200 students includes our modified team, a JV team in volleyball, I compared that to last year. By the way, I gave this a report to the board on last year, where we had 206, so right about the same. And I'm encouraged that we're hanging in there, and I see a growth coming for next year in student participation. Okay? 7 teams this fall had a team average of over 90%. They were recognized by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. It's NYSPHSAA. I want to just tell the board a little bit about that. You may not remember last July, but I do. I was on the 10th tee at a beautiful country club in Poughkeepsie, Casperkill, beautiful hole, and in the middle of my backswing, I heard my cell phone ringing. I usually turn the sound off when I'm golfing, so I don't bother the other golfers, but I must have forgot that day, and I went back after hitting the ball, and I looked at my phone, and it was from Superintendent Wiles. So I said, I better return this call. And she said, Mr. Chase, we saw, I guess I was assuming maybe we being the board, a picture in the paper from another school nearby, and they were a school of excellence in athletics, recognized by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. I said, well, we didn't qualify for that this year, but it will be, I'll give a report to you when I get back in the office. We're going to make that a goal for the next year. So I want to just tell the board how that works. To be a school of excellence, this organization, by the way, every high school in New York State is governed, their sports program is governed by this organization statewide. It's a state organization. So 75% of your teams, we had 20 teams last year. We have 20 this year. I anticipate, we'll wait and see in the spring, but if all goes the way I think, we'll have 20 varsity teams. 75%, 15 of those teams have to have a team average of 90% or higher. And there's a little caveat to that. 75% of the athletes go into that equation on each team. In other words, take the same number for easy math. 20 students on a team, 20 athletes on a team. When I figure the average turn into this organization, I only figure the top 15, or I can, if do it the other way, I can eliminate the 5 lowest averages. And that's how you come up with a team of excellence. So last year, and just as an aside, we have made that a goal. We're working hard. When I say we, the coaching staff, we talk about it at each season's meeting before the fall season. I met with every coach in the district, modified, assistants, varsity, and we talked about, one of the big topics was how can we support our student athletes in the classroom. I did the same thing at our winter meeting, and I will do the same thing at our spring meeting, and in between I've sent out little messages to the coaching staff in between. So I'm pretty happy to say this year we had 7 teams make that 90% or higher and be awarded a team, Scholar Athlete Team Award. Last year, we had 6. So if we can get one more team in the winter than we had last year and one more team in the spring, we will hit the 15 mark, because we had 12, and we needed 15 last year. We need 15 this year to become a school of excellence. So that's just I guess, to educate the board on how that works, so you have an understanding of it. But let's go to the next slide, and I want to show you the 7 teams because I'm really proud of their work, both in the classroom. Okay, what do I hit? Okay, thank you. So the girls volleyball team had a 90+ average. And the girls' soccer team had a 90-plus average. The girls' tennis team, also scholar athlete team. The girls' field hockey team had a 90-plus average. The boys' soccer team, same. The boys' golf team, really high average. The boys' cross-country team, 90 or above. So those were the 7 teams out of 9. So that was really wonderful. And thank you. And I got to tell you, the football team had an 89.42 average. They missed. I could only round up to the 100th by their rules. I couldn't. 89.5 would have gone to 89.6, but not 90. So they missed by about a half a point, or we'd have had 8 out of 9. But we still improved over last year. Now, any student, whether the team had that 90 average or not, any individual student who had a 90 average, even if the team didn't, received a scholar athlete recognition, again, by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. So we had 64 student athletes, and I am honored, and I think I'll ask Mrs. Wiles if she could come up and assist me, to call up and receive a certificate. And I might say, because the first name is not here, because she's playing basketball now with the varsity basketball team in Spec and Kill. And I've had several athletes come to me this week and at the end of last week and said, Mr. Chazen, I want to be there, but our team, they play on another team. So we'll call everyone's name. If the student is present, please come up. We'd love to have you recognized, and we'll hold our applause till the very end. So we hear 64 names of 64 wonderful student athletes. Adriana Anderson, I know she's away. Amelia Benjamin. Aiden Blavelt. Pedro Bonicia. Victoria Bonnet. Jeremy Brazzi. Congratulations. Go that way. There you go. And Hayden Budd. Kaylee Kane. Keep working on that golf game. Gabriella Castro. Emily Chipman. Rihanna Collins Cox. Colleen Camentino. Jonathan Conacher. Justin Conacher. Chad Conklin. Caroline Connor. Soraya Cromwell. Sarai Cruz. Tyler Dams. Skylar Davis. Riley Deshon. Lila Denman, I'm sorry. Ayana Dormanet. John Gattaca. Stephan Gattaca. Sarah Gonzalez, Diana Grote. Great job, Joss. Landon Hempt, Kaylee Horvath, Tiana Grote. Okay, Tiana. Okay. Okay. Landon Hempt and Kaylee Horvath. Whew. Alan Ibrick, I don't know if Alan's here, he just finished playing a really hard game. Sadly, we lost by 1 point. It was a thriller. Mariah Kinsey is away playing on a girls' basketball game. Evan Levine. Marcus Lewis Rivera. Hannah Lutz. Billy McGaw. Jessica McHugh is in Spack&Kill playing on a girls' basketball game. Caden McQuillan. Daniela Membrano. Silas Millis. Anthony Murdoch. J. Rod Neville. Ashley Nunavero. Eva Orphanis. How did I say that? Orphanos. I should have known. A good Greek name. No? It is? Okay. A misspelling, but we'll correct it. Stop by my office tomorrow. And, yeah, Shyama Patel, Madison Pauley, Colton Pickell, Haley Pinkress, Narzina Rahman, Sabahab Rahman, Carlos Rabin, Kevin Rabin. Those are different ones. Okay. Scott Ramos, Nick Rodriguez, Ivona Ross, Brock Sahlstrom, Antonella Silva, Dina Stewart, Brandon DeBorda, Ryan Thompson, Amelia Torres, Jonathan Torres, Nathan Town, and Kaylee Wicks Hiltz, who also is coming from a game with our first cheerleading team in many years. Thank you, board. So now I can say those 64 students deserve a great round of applause. Okay. I hope I didn't miss Nikki Rodriguez. Did I call that name? Okay, I did. Okay, hold on. And we'll track down anyone that wasn't here tonight. So as I said, not only are they great students in the classroom, they also manage that while while devoting a lot of time to athletics, and I appreciate that, and I know they gained a lot from their experience. Moving on, I singled out, as I did last year, students who received some recognition beyond Scholar Athlete Award. On the girls' soccer team, Gabby Castro played an exceptional senior game where she scored a goal for the winning team and had an assist for the winning team. So, Gabby, if you're in the audience, come on up. I have a little something for Gabby. And if not, we'll track her down tomorrow. Also on the girls' soccer team, McHugh, who's in Spack and Kill playing basketball right now, also made the exceptional senior game, and she was also a Section 9 Class B All-Star. So congratulations to Jessica. I know she and her mom both called me and wanted to be here, and it's much more important Jessica be with her basketball team. In boys golf, we had a really young team, and they did great. Off the top of my head, I think their record was either 4 or 5 wins and 6 losses with 8th, 9th, 10th graders. I went out and watched them play, and they hit the ball long and they hit it straight, and I see bright things on the horizon for our golf team. Colton came in 12th place in the Mahal Championship. There's a lot of, there's 19 schools competing in the Mahal Championship. 12th place earns you the right to go on and play in the section championship, which will actually, for the boy, even though the season was in the fall, the sectional championship for the boys is in the spring. Colton's hitting the ball just fine. I went and saw a couple matches myself. So Colton, if you're in the audience, come on up. No Colton, we'll track him down. This is something that makes me really happy to tell you about. Cross country. These guys and girls show up August 20th. They're running 5, 10 kilometers a day, or the race is on race day is a 5K, so they're training for a 5K. Landon kind of represents what I'm talking about, I think. I leave my office at 4:30. Might be raining, might be cold, and I see him running cross country through the parking lots and over hill and dale. And Landon came in 4th place in the section. The top 5 sectional finishers get to go to the New York State Championship meet, where Landon placed 79th. Well, it's a big state and it's a big section, and it's about personal bests. A lot of these sports, like I said, we love to see the teams win, but sometimes just seeing one of our athletes, that's the best I've ever run, is a thrill. And if you're there watching, you can feel that excitement that they have, and you feel it too. So Landon, if you're in the audience, please come up. And congratulations. Moving on, we had some football awards. Talk about heartbreaking season. The football team, let's see, I think they were 4-5. I see a coach. Is that right, Coach? Four wins, 5 losses. 4 of the 5 losses were by a total of 13 points. 4 games we lost by 2. In the sectional semifinals, we led the entire game. They stopped us on their 1-yard line. We lost by 2 points. It was game after game like that, and sometimes that happens in sports. But they never quit. I think I saw almost every game. And we have some awards on the football team. You can see Jacob Wright. He was our quarterback, and he was Kingston Freeman honorable mention. So Jacob, if you're out there, come on up. Glad to say Jacob's a junior, so he'll be back. And once again, I go down to the gym each day after school, and who do I see but football player after football player primarily, but not completely football, and their coach in the weight room working towards next year. It's just really great to see. Oh, Jacob, I'm sorry. He was also Section 9, all section. Jacob, come on back. Section 9, all section team at quarterback. Great job. Section 9, all league. Ryan Thompson. Is Ryan here? Once again, never say die, never quit. A scholar athlete as well. There's a lot of these people, I didn't mention them again, but Kingston Freeman, honorable mention, and a Section 9 all-league team, Dylan Nero. Kingston Freeman, honorable mention, an exceptional senior game participant, Section 9 all-section team, Nathan Town. Great job. No, Nate. And this last one, I have to explain a few things. He's got a few certificates here for several awards. He ran this year for 1,463 yards. He joins the 1,000-yard club that you see hanging in our gym. He's one of 3 people in Ellenville history that have run for 1,000 yards in football in one season. One was Walter Mosley, for a name pretty much synonymous with Ellenville. Walter did it 3 times, 80, 81, and 82. And Reggie Shorter did it twice. And now Casimiro Pomales Jr. has done it twice. So he's one of 3 people to achieve that. His career, by the way, he ran for 3,813 yards, 54 touchdowns by the run, and 63 touchdowns overall. What's that? 9 touchdowns by receiving a pass. And he joins the 1,000-yard club, and his name will go on the wall in the gym. So in addition to the 1,000-yard club, he also played in the exceptional senior football game. He was a Kingston Freeman first-team offensive player. He was on the Section 9 all-section team, and just notified on Friday he was selected first-team all-state in New York State, Casimiro Pomales Jr. So I hope he's here. And the all-state selection gets a banner on the gym wall, all with just his name on it. we've had a handful now of all-state selections, and it's quite an accomplishment. So that's really the fall season in a nutshell. Some of it was heartbreaking. We had a first-year soccer coach, first time. I tried to talk to him. I know a little bit about soccer. I coached it a long, long time. And being a head coach of a varsity program, there's some growing pains with that. We meet at the end of the season, and he said, I'm going to do things a little differently. I said, yes, I know you will. But again, a very young team. So we have much to be proud of, and the winter season is going great, and I look forward to speaking to you in the spring about the winter season. I just want to say to the athletes, you make me proud, you really make the whole community proud. In the board, we want to thank the Booster Club, who every time someone goes to a sectional meet, I've got a cart with a goodie bag for each athlete. The Booster Club, thank you. And also thank the board. You folks are very supportive of athletics, and I see it. I've worked elsewhere, and I see what goes on here, and it's really great. So unless the board has any major questions, that's the end, and thank all the athletes and parents for coming out, and you got great sons and daughters, much to be proud of.
Anybody with any questions, statements?
Thank you.
I just have a quick comment. Of course, thank the athletes, but I really, really want to thank the parents. Sometimes the days and the afternoons and the weekends can get relentless, and I know you give up a lot of time and energy to support your kids. And I know I can speak on behalf of the board that we really, really appreciate that and your commitment to our kids, to your kids, and our school and community. So thank you to the families.
I'd like to thank all the parents, the coaches, obviously the athletes and the scholars, but everybody works together, and congratulations. We're going to take a 5-minute recess so that you guys can filter out. I'm sure you want to get home. 5 minutes. Call the meeting back to order and proceed with the agenda. Under reports, information, and correspondence, just like to say we got to go down as a board and watch the remainder of the basketball game. It was really a great example of sportsmanship. Tough loss by 1 point, but got to enjoy it, and something that we don't usually get to do, but got to support the team, and they took it with real grace and elegance. Jody, you were talking to me about an idea you had. I'd like you to share that with the board.
Yes, so I was thinking from the auditorium up through the high school on the wall, if we can have maybe a wall of recognition for our alumni.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
I sent you a couple of pictures and ideas. Okay.
We started recognizing alumni. We put together a list, and I know there was a woman, I believe from Maryland, and we're compiling a list of alumni and their notable accomplishments. And I think she has a company called Cotton, and she was highlighted in our newsletters and also I think the journal. So we can start with her and put it up. And then if anyone wants to forward any names to us of alumni, but we have an ongoing list, and we got derailed during, the last 2 years, but we'll get going with that. And I think it's a great idea to put pictures up like that throughout that fall.
Iris?
So if you can just elaborate a little bit on what the purpose of it is.
So I think that, and actually, there were a few teachers that brought it up a couple of years ago also, that we have many, many graduates of Ellenville alumni that have real notable accomplishments. I know there's a gentleman, I don't know his name, but he's on our list. He does the Progressive Insurance commercials, right? So he's an actor. And we have this woman that founded her own company for cotton clothing. And we have many people, so we're compiling a list. We started an alumni spotlight in the newsletters.
Oh, right, yes.
So if we I think it's a great idea to take that information, blow up a professional picture, put them on the wall with a small biography, so that our students here can see the history of previous,
Right.
Ellenville graduates before them.
Okay,
We
so
have-
it's lifetime achievements we're looking at.
Yes, we
here.
have a more recent graduate, I think from 2008, the year that rock was painted over, Pedro Rodriguez, who's a newscaster out on the West Coast. We recognized him. That would be something good to put up. So we'll get on that. I think it's a great idea to not only put it in the hall, maybe put other pictures throughout the district also.
That'd be great.
Where people are. But down that hallway needs something, and I'll speak to Mr. Pavone, and we'll ask Tim and Alan to help us, formulate the pictures and get that going. Great idea, thank you.
Speaking of ideas, I know we have the Hall of Fame committee that focuses on athletics, but I had an opportunity to speak with one of our local residents, and they were very emphatic about doing a Hall of Fame for the arts in the school, in the area of the arts and also studio, things of that nature. So I thought it was fantastic that we should focus on the arts as well, because we have a lot of talented people that have come through our doors and have gone on to become great successes in the area of the arts. So I know that I would like to try to get a couple volunteers to head that committee. That I'd like to establish as a joint committee with the Hall, not a joint committee, but a co-committee with the Hall of Fame Committee for Athletics. So I'm looking in one particular direction. Lisa Ramirez would be a volunteer for the arts. Anybody else want to join that arts committee? Jody? Yes. Okay, and Jody. So that would be great. Iris, you interested in
This
the
is a
arts?
Hall of Fame kind of a thing.
Kind of the same thing as a Hall of Famer for life, but you guys can put your own twist on it. It doesn't have to be the same thing.
Well, I
But
certainly would be glad to sit in on their conversations.
okay, so we have 3 people there. So. And we'll get a report back in February sometime from you ladies as to how you want to proceed with this. But I'd like to thank Jerry Mayer. It was him who approached me about doing this, so
Yes.
thank him for that idea.
Right.
And anybody else? Board membership? Iris?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I've been thinking about too. One of them is I noticed the high honor roll and the honor roll up in the hallway. And I know that in days gone by, it used to be published in the newspaper, and that's a long time gone. And I'm just wondering if we put it on our website, and if perhaps it can be included in the newsletters. I don't know how often they come out, if it aligns with the high honor roll and stuff, but I'm wondering if that would be doable, to have it in the school newsletter.
We will definitely look into it.
Yeah.
See if it, even if it doesn't come out, we'll work it out.
Yeah,
Make sure.
I think it's really important for the parents, the kids, the friends to see it. You know, it matters a great deal. And the other question that I had, we have a lot of extracurricular activities, a lot of clubs, and I'm wondering if there's anything that the district does, the school, the high school in particular, but I guess elementary too, to get the information out about the clubs, or is it all word of mouth? I mean, is there any established process for informing the students and or their parents that we have a very long list of clubs available?
So I know that in the buildings, there are announcements made to the students.
That
I'll find out from Mr. Pabon if there's anything formal that goes out.
There's a list that goes out each year with the handbook and the family newsletter that goes out on a quarterly basis. It has the clubs. And that's actually one of the school improvement initiatives, is to make sure that students are more aware of the
Informed.
opportunities that they have to participate in student life. So the
So how do
bulletin
they
boards this
have-
year have really been brought to life. If you walk through the junior, senior high, the clubs are promoting activities more. I believe the clubs are designated a space to, post information. And then the announcements, you hear Jack on the announcements every day, getting the information out as well.
where they're going to meet and what, is there any comprehensive list of what the function of the club is? You know, it's like if I opened up a book or a pamphlet, is there any place where there's a description of the club and what the expectations are for the students?
I don't think there's a document that exists like that, but that might be something even student council may want to look into helping organize, so that they can promote everything that this is a student body that's offered.
You know, we're making really great efforts to enhance the athletic program, and I believe also now the music and arts and stuff. But, you know, I hear so much of, oh, there's nothing to do after school. And when I hear that, I'm like, I wish I had the list. You know, I'll show you there's a lot to do. So I would like to see if we can enhance getting that information out.
Yeah.
Could we,
Yes, Reverend Collins.
could we make like a project for each one of those clubs to produce a little pamphlet
That's a great idea,
explaining what it's all about? A little pamphlet that when we do like open house and those kind of things, that each club has a pamphlet that it could be handed out that first day of school or all around, so that they become something more than just behind the door, nobody knows anything about. At least if we introduce them to them, then we have an opportunity of getting more participation in them.
Yes.
Great idea,
Great
Reverend.
idea.
Lisa Ramirez?
I know we've been talking about updating the website or upgrading it, and I think some of these things could have a nice presence on
Absolutely.
that new design as well.
I'm going to report out on the website.
Anybody else? Okay, we will turn this over to our NBC affiliate in Ellenville, Mr. Jack Emery.
So we're going to be giving our events. The class of 2025 is hosting their winter paint night in the elementary school cafeteria, 5 o'clock tomorrow. All grades and extracurricular clubs will be taking photos for their yearbook on Friday. The junior high musical Frozen Junior and the senior high musical Grease continue their rehearsals as they prepare to put on exciting shows in the near future. The senior high jazz ensemble and chamber singers have their evening of chamber music concert next week on the 18th in the elementary music assembly room, followed by a reception afterwards. Athletics, the boys varsity basketball team faced Onteora on Friday, earning a 64-16 blowout victory. They turned their sights to their game against Spackenkill, which unfortunately resulted in a heartbreaker. And the girls varsity basketball team defeated Rondout 58-42 last week at home as they face Back and Go today on the road. And finally, for fundraisers, the Student Council Blue Devils merchandise. The link is Junior Senior High School Student Council Blue Devils gear, or you can use the QR code.
Thank you, Jack. All right, we will move on to Superintendent, Mrs. Lisa Wiles.
So a few things this evening. Dr. Corey, the district superintendent for Ulster BOCES, has retired. I know that at your emails, you received a survey from Ulster BOCES. We would ask if you're interested to please fill them out. The Ulster County Board of Education of BOCES would like to get some feedback from the communities regarding their search for a replacement. In his absence, Jonah Schenker, who's the deputy superintendent, has stepped up, and there is a DS from another county that's working with Ulster BOCES. We also put a flyer in the packet. There's a retirement event party for him. If anyone's interested, we put that in the packet. It's February 10th. Just want to mention to the board that this coming Sunday, the NAACP will be having their Martin Luther King celebration. If you're interested, we can give you the information. I think it's at the Methodist Church this year.
Yeah, Methodist, on the corner across from Town Hall.
Yep, and it's always a great event. Kelly and Frank Mulhern will be representing us as the school district there, but it's really open to the public if anyone's interested. Gonna
Time? Do you know what time it'll be?
4 o'clock? I think it's 4 o'clock. I want to follow up with what Jack shared about Frozen. So the production of Frozen by the junior high school is June 3rd and June 4th. Not June, excuse me. I wrote June. February 3rd and 4th. We're not going to wait till June to see Frozen. They would freeze.
We'd have to
Sorry
call
about
it thawed instead of frozen. We'd call it thawed.
So please save the date. They're working really hard. And along with that, I really want to thank the Shadowland. I know we enter into a contract with them, but okay. It was a slip. The Shadowland has really been supporting the school district with putting the sets together and providing additional support, whatever we need for the drama department. I really appreciate the board's committed to that. It's really moved the drama clubs along immensely. I also want to report that the school resource officers started on January 4th. We'll be doing press releases and have some information on social media introducing the resource officers to the community. They have been very visible and active in the buildings, in each building. And we'll have more information out to the public, and I believe we're going to have them come to a board meeting and introduce them to the board. In the packet, we did put a copy of the training materials that we went through and the protocols. So that's in your packet, so you can take a look at that. On January 26th, the Ulster County School Boards Association is hosting their winter meeting, and they will be they have invited the New York State legislators, assembly people, and senators that represent the district. I believe that meeting starts at 6 o'clock. And there is a flyer in your packet for that also. The last thing I want to report on is the website. So we're down to 2 organizations, WordPress and Aptigee. We're leaning very heavily on Aptigee. It's a very user-friendly site. We're having an administrators meeting to finalize that and look at the numbers just to make sure they're both in line. But we are probably going with Aptigee, and we'll have a full report for you at the next meeting. But we hope to be able to transition into a new website so that when we start the 23-24 school year, we start, fresh with a new site where it'll be more easily accessible to keep updated and maneuver around for community members and parents. So all of those things are well in order. That's all I have tonight.
So I'd like to take a minute and just, we talk about the people that make things happen behind the scenes. We never really recognize them. But every week that they're here at our board meetings, Tim Lukaseski and his crew, the film crew, sitting behind the cameras there, filming us, making sure that it gets out to the public. Could you just step forward and be recognized a little bit and let the people see out there? And I'd like to recognize our camera people. That's okay. We recognize the people. Say hello. Give them a round of applause. And thank all the people behind the scenes, especially people in the studio who are not out here, but we certainly appreciate your dedication and volunteering your time to come down here. And, you know, I'm sure that there's other things on a school night you'd like to be doing and sitting, listening to us for a couple hours. So we definitely thank you for that. Moving on, Mr. Napoli is absent with notice, and we will move on to Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Good evening. I just wanted to speak about the Go Beyond Greatness proposals that are up for review this evening. Frank Mulhern works closely with Ashley Knox from Go Beyond Greatness. She's been doing work in the district since 2018, and she runs a series of college and career readiness programs. And typically we run 2 during the year, but we are going to be running 3 this year. So that's the Map My Future, which is college and career readiness, Speak Like a Pro, which is a public speaking program, and the third one is the Build Your Brand, which is about personal branding. And in all 3 programs, students have access to field trips that are paid for through the proposals. They attend networking events, college visits, business visits, wellness activities. So we are excited to be able to offer all 3 of them, and I really encourage students and families to get to know about these programs and to get your children involved in them. There's a lot of value in them, and the feedback we've received over the years has always been really positive. So we anticipate getting more information out, and we're looking for a strong enrollment in those programs this year.
Thank you very much. Iris?
Yeah. I was reading about the collaborative planning time.
Yes.
And so it's always a concern for me when teachers are taken out of the classroom during the school day. And I know that there's a lot of, there's some different reasons why that happens. So I'm just wondering, how much time would that entail for a teacher to be out of the classroom?
This will be for one full school day. So it's one full school day.
It all occurs on the same day?
No, so there's no more than, I think the groups have no more than 6 teachers at a time. So it's teachers that teach either the same grade level or the same course will work together. So one thing we really need to do as a district is to update curriculum maps. There's been a shift in the learning standards and more shifts on the way. And we don't have up-to-date maps that really outline the learning path that students go through. So
Right.
again, we offer this work sometimes over the summer, but it's voluntary over the summer, and we really need the teachers all to be on the same page and work together to make sure that those maps accurately reflect what's supposed to be taught in the courses and ensure that the learning standards are in place and the correct sequence is decided upon by the grade level so that they're all moving on the same pathway.
So the accumulated time is a full day?
Yeah, if there's teachers that teach like more so at the secondary level, if you, for example, teach forensics and chemistry, you might be pulled for 2 days. But for the most part, the teachers will be pulled for 1 day.
Because it's always a concern that they're not in the class. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll move on to resolutions for this evening. Under 6.1, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved Ulysses Young be granted unpaid leave of absence effective January 4th, 2023 through June 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Moved?
Second.
Seconded? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 6.2, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Janice Ortiz be appointed part-time cafeteria monitor at a rate of $16.45 per hour, work not to exceed 29 hours each week, effective January 11th, 2020.
So moved.
Been moved?
Second.
Seconded? Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.3, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Jill Furman's appointment as a long-term substitute teacher be extended from January 31st, 2023 through June 20th, 2023, or the return of the teacher.
So moved.
Second.
Moved, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carried. Under 6.4, someone want to move that in its entirety?
I will move that in its entirety.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 6.5, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Roger Buckwalter be appointed as a security attendant at a rate of $18.04 per hour worked, not to exceed 29 hours each week, effective January 11, 2023. This is a civil service position and requires 6-month
So
probation.
moved.
It's been
Second.
moved, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? 6.6, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Pedro Roman be appointed as a security attendant at a rate of $18.04 per hour worked, not to exceed 29 hours each week, effective January 11, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.7. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved that Aaron DeSarmi and Kelly Kane be approved at the elementary extended day academy reading tutors in the PM at the rate of $77 per hour worked.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.8, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the attached list of elementary school extended day programs be approved at a contractual rate for the 22-23 school year.
Move the list.
Been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Upon recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that Asenel Bruce and Gregory Bandura be appointed uncertified substitute teachers at a rate of $125 per day work for the 22-23 school year.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second. I would just like to say, I love the fact that kids are going out and coming back here that graduated from Ellenville to be teacher, to be substitute teachers to start and hopefully to be permanent teachers at some point. So it's great to see that. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Dina Bruce be appointed substitute security attendant at a rate of $17 per hour work.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 6.11, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that the memorandum of agreements between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit be approved, and there are 3 of them.
Move the list as presented.
Second.
List has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under budget resolutions for this evening, is someone that'll move 7172?
So moved.
Move.
We're moving 7-1 and 7-2. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 8.1, education resolutions, resolve the attached list of IEPs be acknowledged, and there are 41.
Move the list as presented.
The list has been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Memorial Scholarship. Resolve that Diane Krulik Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 be established pursuant to the terms and criteria designated by the donor.
So moved.
Been moved. Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 8.3, resolve the following list of volunteers be approved for the 22-23 school year. Linda Gillette, Kristen Osterhout, and Andy Walter.
So moved.
Second.
And they've all been fingerprinted?
Yes. They won't start until their fingerprinting is finalized.
Thank you. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under construction resolutions, resolved that the architect payment for professional service invoice 87459 in the amount of $2,658 be approved for Clark Patterson Lee.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 9.2, resolve the change order in the amount of $0 for Harry F. Rotolo and Sons be approved. I don't think we're going to turn that down.
So moved.
It's been moved, and I guess we'll get an explanation as soon as I have it on the floor. Been moved and seconded. Can we get some clarification?
Yes, that's right.
That does not seem like
Do
a
we
change.
know what this is? I mean,
So
Vince is in
I think
here,
it's a
so.
change of work. So I'll get more information for the next meeting, but if you read the backup information, I think it moves from one line to another in the construction documents.
So
Yes.
I read it.
We'll get
And
clar-
it's for a zero amount. So what I'm thinking is, this may be the skylights that have been removed from, but my question is, if they've been removed from the bid, then are we getting rebated funds?
I think that we went out for bid and we'll report
Find
back.
out, yes.
Yeah.
So should we,
I don't
should
want
we
to
postpone
approve
this?
this. I'd like to table it until I'd rather
Right.
vote on something that we're not clear on.
Yeah.
I'd like to table it too,
So you
please.
make a motion to table.
I'm making a motion to table this till we're
Do I have a
clarified.
second to table the motion?
Yeah.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion on this motion? If not, all those in favor to table? All those in favor to table? Iris, are you a yes?
I'm a yes.
Jody?
Yes.
Okay. It's unanimous. Motion's been tabled to the next meeting. Resolved that invoice roofing 01 payment for the roofing contractor in the amount of $47,500 be approved for Titan Roofing. Now, that's the one we should table.
moved.
It's been moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion?
I'm sorry.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved that the invoices HVAC 01, HVAC 02 payments for the HVAC contractor in the amount of $14,321.25, $88,635 be approved for Integrity Mechanical using American Rescue Plan funds.
So moved.
Moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved that invoice plumbing 01 payment for the plumbing contractor in the amount of $11,400 be approved for Integrity Mechanical.
So moved.
Moved?
Second.
Second, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved the following
What resolution are we up to?
we are on 9.6.
Okay. Thank you.
Resolve the following architect payment for construction documents for Tetra Tech in the amount of $15,000 be
So
approved.
moved.
Been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 10.1, somebody want to move that in its entirety?
Replacing buses.
It is,
Yes. So moved.
it is accessing 2 school buses
And purchasing.
and purchasing. So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Mileage rate, resolved that the mileage rate at the current federal IRS rate of .65, I guess 65.5 cents per mile. It's been moved. Do I have a second? Seconded, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries.
Move 10.3 and 10.4, please.
10.3 and 10.4 have been moved. Do I have a second? It's been seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 10.5. Resolve the attached memorandum of understanding between Shadowland Artists, DBA Shadowland Stages, and the Ellenville Central School District to provide production services for the upcoming production of Grease be approved.
So moved.
Been moved?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Wait, I have a
Oh.
question.
Time out. Iris, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, because I've been noticing this, and maybe this is just the way it is and I didn't remember, but in the resolution, shouldn't that include what we're paying them?
Well, we're referring back to the agreement, so you don't have to have it in there, but we could put it in.
Well, just as a matter of record,
Okay.
wouldn't it be a good idea to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, when you do the minutes, and if someone wants to look it up, I guess the agreement is included like it is in our, I don't know. I just think it's a simpler way for everyone to know what it is.
We could do that.
we're
Will we
voting.
note that in the,
You know,
Yep,
Just
Lisa,
to-
you'll note that, we'll put the amount in.
yeah, because that's really our primary job.
We'll
is to
note that in
approve the
all,
funds.
in all future resolutions. Iris.
Thank you.
10.6, resolve that the Board of Education, Ellenville Central School District approve the agreement with the State University of New York at New Paltz.
Shadowland, 10.5.
Shadowland, okay, correction, yep, and then we had a question. All right, any further discussion on 10.6 on the Shadowland? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carried. Resolved that the Board of Education Ellenville Central School District approve the agreement with the State University of New York at New Paltz for the period of January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2028.
So moved.
Been moved?
Second.
Second?
Quick explanation.
Lisa, or Kelly?
Yep. This is for allowing student teachers and professional field experiences to take place. The insurance company recommends that we have affiliation agreements on file with colleges and universities to ensure that proper training is happening for the students coming here, and just outlines the responsibilities of
student
the college.
teachers?
For
That
student
kind of thing?
teachers,
Okay.
or we have, for example, someone doing a guidance internship.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And observations, too.
Yeah, so this would cover field work and observations in the classroom.
Very good. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Under
10-7 and 10-8.
10.7 and 10.8, we are dealing with a refund for the amount of $840 to Diane Brown and a refund in the amount of $323.50 to Jeremy Schneider and Rachel Lewis.
So moved.
It's been moved and then seconded?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 10.9, Go Beyond Greatness contracts. Resolve the Ellenville Central School District Board of Education approve the following Go Beyond Greatness contracts. Map My Future program, 10-week program serving up to 30 students in grades 7-12 for the period of February 2023 through June 2023 at a total cost of $15,750. Build Your Brand program, a 10-week program serving up to 30 students, grades 7-12, period January 2023 through March 2023, total cost $15,750. Speak Like a Pro program, 21-week program serving up to 30 students, grades 7-12 for the period of January 2023 through August 2023, total cost of $25,500. All costs to be paid through Family and Community Engagement Aid and My Brother's Keeper grant for the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Been moved? Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Mark your calendar for the next meeting, it's January 24th, 2023. Anybody have anything for the next agenda they'd like to see on it? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second? All those in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned.